Today in the grain market, soybeans were rising. Futures are still trying to push through that $13 level. It seems to just have a little bit of trouble. I think that there's some signs of global demand, but better weather in Brazil is kind of like countering that somewhat. And some of the non-commercial traders are, net short the soybean oil, which really was a big support to the soybean market as a whole. And they were net short. They haven't been short that since June of 2020. So that lets you know there's kind of a little bit of a reversal, and perhaps that's the reason we can't quite get that market up a little bit higher. We know that we don't have all that much news in the market for grains, so we're kind of like grasping at straws, trying to figure out what's really moving the needle. Now the U.S. dollar is a little bit lower, along with like energy and the oil markets, which normally would have some support. But I think that there's other issues going on right now. The CVOL is at 17.7%. The soybean oil CVOL is at 33.1. Now that's down a couple of percentage. I think that also is adding to keeping the futures from actually breaking through that $13 mark. Even the soybean meal is at 27.2%, all relatively strong generally, but still not, not really letting the market get ahead of steam. Now, today corn was lower, and that's mainly the Omicron concerns is really impacting futures. And I think they're impacting all the futures with the stock market down as hard as it is. It really has been casting a shadow across all the markets. The futures, again, got so close to that $6 mark, but they haven't been able to get through. And yet they've got plenty of support if you consider the Dalian market closed and the corn exchange closed at $10.95. I mean, that the investors continue to increase their long positions in corn. So there's a lot of positives supporting this market. We just can't quite get rolling. And it could be because we just have 2 weeks left in the year. And I think everyone's just trying to get themselves positioned. So we can't really look for it until really 2022. The CVOL for corn is at 21.8%. And let's look at wheat. The wheat did firm up after, export sales hit a marketing year high. So that's really a good reason for that market to be moving. But the futures did plunge double digits last night before they were able to rebound back. And we got up to a little bit higher than 2.5 cents about. I mean, that's a pretty nice reversal. However, wheat has been largely undervalued. So the fact that there's so much pressure on the market, I think, just lets you know that the markets are choppy, and we've got the end of the year coming. And so many traders are on the sidelines. People are not really committed to the market. And I think we're not going to see that until we get to 2022. Now, the CVOL right now for wheat is at 27.1%, which is historically really high. So that tells me that there could be more volatility ahead. So we'll be watching for that.